Intermittent fasting for serious weight loss. That's the topic for today. Now, intermittent fasting is the most important and most magical thing you can do for your body. But the question is why? What does intermittent fasting do? Well, number one, it actually increases your white blood cells. It strengthens your immune system. It increases stem cells with your immune system, so it can revive and give you a new immune system if it's been damaged. It powerfully suppresses inflammation. So if you have arthritis, bursitis, tendinitis, any of the itises, those are going to go bye-bye. It is a powerful stimulator of something called autophagy, which is the recycling of old damaged proteins. Your skin, your hair, your nails, your organs. It is one of the most powerful stimulators of growth hormone. Growth hormone is all about fat burning. It's all about anti-aging. And exercise only will increase growth hormone by 750%. Fasting can increase growth hormone by 2,000%. So why would anyone even hesitate from doing intermittent fasting? It can increase testosterone by 180%. It greatly improves your mood. So let's say you have depression or anxiety, or you're not feeling that great. It can bring your emotions up to a whole new level so you feel more like yourself. I mean, that alone is huge. Intermittent fasting helps regrow your brain cells so your cognitive function improve, memory, concentration, focus. It is very, very beneficial, if not essential, for people with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. And the best way to kill cancer cells and to shrink tumors is fasting. So there's so many different epigenetic factors in relationship to cancer. One is that it helps to recycle old damaged mitochondria. And the reason why that's really important is because what causes cancer is damage within the mitochondria. So if you can recycle and fix all the broken mitochondria, you can really not just prevent cancer, but you can help to slow it down. And so one term related to that is not called autophagy, it's mitophagy. But beyond that, I think the biggest and coolest thing that fasting can do for someone is fix a broken metabolism. So if you have a slow metabolism, it can give you a fast metabolism. If you have this situation where you can only lose a certain amount because you hit this set point, it can help bust through that and help you lose more and more because it fixes insulin resistance. Not to mention diabetes. There are so many people studying this right now. It's very, very exciting. And the reason why intermittent fasting becomes easier as you do it is because your hunger completely goes away. I mean, try to do any diet if you are hungry. It's just not going to work. Not having a big appetite and definitely not craving just makes it doable and it makes it easy. Now, real quick, I just wanted to mention this amazing, amazing success story of this guy who was completely depressed, suicidal. Nothing was going right in his life. And so he decided to commit suicide. And the way he was going to do it was he was going to starve himself. So he went to his room, lay down on his bed, and stopped eating for 3 days. So you can guess what happened. After the second and third day, he started feeling better and better. And he no longer had depression. He felt energy. He felt better. So his plan backfired. And so he got on the internet and started searching about fasting. And he found that's what he was missing. He found one of my videos. We did an interview and it completely changed his life around. So if you haven't seen that video, I put a link down below. Fascinating. All right. So now all you need to know is exactly how to do fasting in a very simple way. I'm going to show you a very gradual way to get into fasting so you can go as fast or as slow as you want. But I want to make it very, very simple. Okay. Now, intermittent fasting is a pattern of eating and not eating. It's not a diet. So we want to combine the ketogenic diet with fasting. In this video, we're primarily going to just cover the fasting part, okay, the pattern of eating. All right, first thing is starting out worst case scenario. Let's say you're doing 3 meals a day and 3 snacks like I was, okay? And at night, you're just grazing with chips and nuts and you just do that until you go to sleep. Now realize that every time you eat, you stimulate insulin. So we have 3 big spikes of insulin. And then we have also 3 kind of mini spikes of insulin because every time you eat, you trigger insulin. So there is just absolutely zero chance of losing weight with that pattern of eating. So the first thing to do is just to eliminate the snacks. What you can actually do is change your snacks to maybe protein or fat and then push them to the meal. So that way they're no longer a snack, they're part of the meal. So the first step is doing 3 meals, no snacks. Now, just to make it easier on yourself, you want to add more fat to the meal to be more satisfied so you can go longer. The goal at this stage is to start to reduce insulin and to go longer in between meals. That's your goal, because snacking is deadly. Now, of course, if you cut out the carbs at the same time, it's going to make it easier because carbs drop your blood sugars, and then now you're going to be hungry. So if you combine keto with this, it's going to be really easy. All right, so we go in the first stage, 3 meals, no snacks. You do that for a few days, and what's going to happen is you're going to wake up in the morning, you're not going to be hungry anymore. And so if you're not hungry, just don't eat. You might want to write that on your refrigerator. But it's very, very important because we don't want to eat out of habit or schedule. We want to eat when our bodies are telling us to eat. And so if you're not hungry, guess what? Your body is eating, but it's eating your own fat. And that is the goal. So don't screw it up by eating, and then all of a sudden now you're hungry an hour and a half later. So the most important thing at this next phase is to take your breakfast and keep pushing it more towards your lunch to the point where it becomes your lunch, okay? So we're just combining our breakfast and lunch together. And a lot of times my first meal is my breakfast. I'll have eggs or bacon or avocado. Now you can also do the bulletproof coffee just to make it easier. But I find this stage goes pretty quick. You might even be able to jump into this within the next day, because as soon as you start reducing the frequency of eating, your hunger goes down because we start making the switch from burning sugar to burning fat. All right, so we got rid of our snacks. We're doing 3 meals a day. We're adding fat to the meal. And then we're going to skip breakfast. Now we're at 2 meals per day. So let's say, for example, you eat at noon and then at 6. That gives you a fasting pattern of 16 hours, okay, of fasting with an 8-hour eating window. Now, when I mention the eating window, you probably are going to be fasting through that window as well. We could add those hours, but for this example, we're not going to add those hours. We're only going to count the point where the last meal is, and then all the way to the next day to the first meal. Okay, so that pattern is 16 and 8. And for convenience, you can do 12 and 6. You can do eating at 1 p.m. to 7 or 2 to 8. Depending on what your schedule is, you can adjust that. All right, so now you're at 16/8. You're going to start to see some amazing results, okay? The best way that you know it's working is your appetite goes away, okay? That's the most important indicator, not weight loss, not even energy. All right, if you want to see more results, we bring it to the next stage. And if you can look below on this chart, you're still doing 2 meals, but you're going to take these 2 meals and start squishing them together, okay? So this is where I am at now, okay? So I'll do 2 meals, and they're within a 4-hour eating window. So that gives me 20 hours of fasting. That's huge. If you can do 20 hours of fasting, you're going to see amazing benefits, not just with your weight, with your cognitive function, with your immune system. Your body even starts making more antioxidants. Your stress goes down. I mean, it's just very remarkable. All right, so at this stage, your pattern is 20 and 4. And let's say your meals were between 12 noon and 4, or 1 and 5, or 2 and 6. So just adjust that to your schedule. All right, so this is where a good amount of people pretty much stay at this level. But let's say you want to take it to the next level, okay? And let's say you're over the age of 50, like I am. I'm 56. And you have a slow metabolism, and you want to have more, improvement with your brain, for example. You want to have less inflammation with your joints. You want to have a better immune system. You want to speed up the loss of belly fat. This is what you do. You go to what's called OMAD, 1 meal a day. That gives you a pattern of 23 hours of fasting and 1 hour of eating. Now, with this meal, you want it very large. You want to make sure it's nutrient dense. But realize that all the nutritional requirements actually go down when you do 1 meal a day. Your body adjusts, and so you don't actually need the quantity of nutrients because your body becomes very, very efficient. And at this stage, I always have to remind people, don't eat if you're not hungry. Okay, just ride the wave. For some people who have a lot of fat to lose and they have a slow metabolism, sometimes they're not even hungry in a given day. So what I will tell them is just go another day, fast as long as you can. And some people fast for 3 days and they lose a ton of weight and they feel great. So I have a lot of videos on making this transition, but in this video, let's just stop at 1 meal a day. If you add exercise to this, it's going to be even more deadly powerful. But I just wanted to give you the overview, the picture on how it goes, and you can plug in wherever you want to plug in, go at your own pace, make it easier on yourself. But I really want you to get started so you can personally experience this for yourself. And before you get started, I have some details about fasting that you need to know about. I put those up right here. Check them out.